Hey there, online students. This is Dr. Buer. It's Monday, April the 10th. Welcome to the 11th week of classes. If you've been keeping track, then you know that that means we have 2/3 of the semester that is done and only 1/3 in front of us. So hope all of you are excited about that and still ready to learn, but we don't have much further to go. Hope all of you had a great Easter. We had a wonderful service yesterday morning at our church. We rejoiced with believers all over the world that Christ is risen. We even had some new folks who came to hear the gospel message. So we're pretty excited about how things turned out. And I hope everything went well with your church too. Okay, so here's what we've got going on in our classes for this week. In NT 503, we are back now in the translation and study guide mode of the class. I want to reiterate that the reason we do this is not simply to give you busy work, but because with the text, translating it, thinking about it, going back to Dr. Wallace's to answer questions, thinking about how it would be translated, all of that really contributes well to your understanding of the text. That's the way that we're learning grammar, is by really digging into the text like that. And so I just want to remind you that we're going to be working on study guides and translation for the next couple of weeks. We don't have much further to go till we are done with the book of Philippians, but I hope that it's been helpful to you and give you a chance to really dig into the meaning of the text. In NT 5104, we have turned in our first exegetical paper, Hallelujah, and now we are getting ready to work on our second one. We have 2 modules left in the class. We have this one, number 4, entitled Exegesis in Gospel and Apocalyptic. It is a self-paced module in which we go through different issues related to gospel genre and apocalyptic genre in the New Testament, questions that you would have regarding exegesis in those books. Then we get into exegesis in application and ministry, where we talk about how we apply the text and how then we actually put it into practice in the context of a ministry position. Now, notice that there are no paper assignments that are going to be due in Module 4 or 5 until you turn in the final paper on May the 5th. That means that this whole next paper is entirely on you to do during this time frame. This next paper is due on May the 5th. It's going to cover Ephesians chapter 5, verses 22 to 33, and you have to do everything from scratch. The first part of the class you worked on Ephesians chapter 2 and did those little assignments. Now we don't have anything like that, so this is stem to stern, brand new work. So I want to encourage you now to go ahead and get started. If you don't get started right away, you're going to get caught at the end with having to do too much work in too short a time. So I want to encourage you to go ahead and get started now. Pick your TC problems and do those. Pick your word studies and do those, etc. And you are, of course, always welcome to contact me along the way if you have any questions. In NT 5110, we are currently in the module on pseudonymity. And in this particular module, we are going to focus on getting the research paper done. So we have our normal work to do. Here it is, in which we've got to do reading and watch some videos, things of that nature. We have an optional review session to discuss the paper coming up soon. I'll talk a little bit more about the paper next week, but this is an important module. Pseudonymity deals with the possible falsely attributed writings within the New Testament. So that applies to Paul, it applies to 2 Peter, it applies to several other books. So it's a good module to know, but it's also important because we're working on the research paper. So let me know if you have questions along the way. All right, well, I do hope that you're doing well. We don't have much further in this semester. I'm excited about that, but I'm also looking forward to getting the most that we can out of the few weeks that remain. So let me know how I can help, and I look forward to working with you online. Take care, and see you real soon.